Okay, everybody, we're back. Okay. Now, as I was saying before, there's a couple ways to sheet this. But I know we hit you guys with a bunch of numbers. But I just wanted to show you guys Dad's way of doing it. Dad's way is old school. It's kind of complicated. There's other people that do it like that. But there's easier ways too. And you just take your model, decide how big you want your plane, divide your model into the length of your plane. That's how you get your number. Right. Say I want my plane 9 foot long. Well, you take your model, you divide it into 9 foot, and that gives you your number. Okay. You decide how far you want your bulkheads apart. Okay, we just went with 6 inches because that equaled out to 1 inch. Okay, 4 is more realistic. 4 inches apart. But then you divide. Okay, I got lost here. Okay, you take 18 is the length of our plane, and our bulkheads are 6 inches apart, so that's 36 bulkheads. Okay, you take 36 and you divide it into the length of your plane,
right,
into your model. Okay, 36 are planes 36 inches long, so that makes these bulkheads 1 inch apart. Okay, take these things and cut them on you mark your center line going both ways, okay, on your plastic model. Then you cut it up, bam, every inch, cut it up. You transfer them to paper, and then you blow it up to your number. On this is 6.027, so I want to blow it up 6.027, okay. Then you jig these things up every 6 inches on your table, every 6 inches, okay. Then you're to your sheeting stage. Okay, sheeting it with balsa is the best way because of these arcs. If you glue foam in the middle, you just got to allow for, you see, like right there is a little bit higher than both of them. You got to sand that contour, otherwise you'll end up with square marks. So you'll need to make your foam bigger and sand it to shape. Okay, and that's probably the easiest way. A lot of people can't sheet real good. Sheeting's hard. You got to sand each piece to fit. Gluing foam in there is the easiest way. Bam, you got a plug.
Right.
Glass it with a couple layers of tooling cloth, sand away, and then you're at the stage I'm at now. It's not that difficult, people.
You might show them up there.
Oh, the B-52?
Yeah, show them how we put all the bulkheads in there.
Yeah. How many bulkheads were in that B-52? I forget.
Oh, hell, there's probably 70. No.
Yeah.
60 or 70.
I forget, but you see them all in there? Me and Dad built that from scratch a long time ago.
And that's the old school way.
That was the old school. Dad has never cut a plastic model up in his life.
I'm too tight.
Yeah, yeah, he ain't gonna cut a plastic model up. But that's how he came up with that. Then I sheeted it and I glassed it before I hung it up there. Then we decided that I didn't want to go electric, and the cells are small, and there's no way to get turbines or ducted fans in it, and I'm not really the electric guru, so it's been hanging up there as a conversation piece ever since. B1B man was supposed to come get that thing, and I haven't heard from him. There's been a couple other people asking about it. So B1B man, if you want it, still want it, give us a holler. There's been a couple other people asking me about it. And but that's how we did that.
That's light, and it would be flyable.
It would be flyable electric. I sheeted it, and it's got 3/4. I glassed it before I hung it up because I knew I was going to hang it up. And if you don't glass them first, then the wood goes to shit, or it starts warping and everything else. That Saab Draken up there is another one Dad scaled up. And I ended up building one of them and gave it to my buddy. I never have, well, I built it for my buddy, but I never have molded that plane. I'd like to do it someday. But that's another one Dad scaled up. Just by his caliper method, you know. but that's a good way to get your bulkheads to make your plug. And we just wanted to show you how Dad did it. And the easier way us younger guys are doing it. You about got to be a whiz. See, Dad, he's just been doing stuff like with them calipers for years, you know.
I'm an old pipe fitter, and that's the way we had to go out and measure pipe and measure the transitions and everything, and bring it back to the shop and lay it out on paper and make damn sure it fit.
Yeah, so Dad's just used to stuff like this. You know, if you ain't real good with calipers, ain't real good with numbers, ain't real good with drawing stuff out, cut that dude up on a bandsaw. That is actually how Butch put the model in his computer for that. Okay, what Butch did was he took a plastic model like this and he cut it up. Then he scanned it, you know, decided, you know, just like that. And he scanned it onto his computer and then put it in his Rhino program. And that's how Butch came up with the drawings for that, for the B1 up there. And that's, you know, because some of them programs you can buy already, you know, already done. But the B1 was not one of them, so he had to do that with his own self. And it took him like 6 years to get all that stuff drawn out, people. You know, Butch spent a long time on this. That's Butch's baby up there, you know. So it's going to fly. Just got to be patient with us. We'll get there. Till then, I'm going to get on that 105 Thunder Chief. But, you know, there's been people talking about plugs. They would like to make a plug. They don't have the money to have, you know, something made. And, you know, don't have access to a CNC machine and stuff like that. But while I'm thinking about it, there was people asking why we had to use that expensive old tooling board for our main spar plug, okay? And I already got one cut out of foam, but you see this hole right here? This is where our bearing goes, right, you know? And there's, you know, I would have to glass this to make a plug out of it, and I'd have to glass it, I'd have to glass in that hole, I'd have to glass in there, and them holes got to be so perfect. I mean, if it's a little bit off here, a little bit off on the bottom, bam, that's big time in 18 or, you know, a 9 foot. But them holes have to be perfect. I mean, just absolutely perfect. Otherwise, we'll have warped wings. It'll be off this way, and it just won't be right. And that tooling board, you don't have to glass. That stuff is hard enough. All you have to do is prime it and pull a mold. You know, you don't have to glass it. You don't have to go in there and, you know, that foam's just too soft. And just a fraction of an inch, you know, off being this way, and then on the bottom, if it's a fraction of an inch off that way, and then the other wings are off this way, you know, they just wouldn't come out right.
Half a degree is 9 degrees when you get out there 9 feet.
Yeah, and plus this way, you know, you're off just a smidget, man. Just like Dad said, you know, just a thing, 64ths of an inch is big numbers when you're talking out there to that tip. But that is why we had to use the tooling board on the wings. Now that he's got that done, he has this done, he has the flax traps done, we got to make an inner liner for our leading edge slats and flaps. That's about all we got left to cut. But while Butch is doing that, I'm going to get on this. We're running out of time. I'm going to get back on this plug, sit here and visit with Dad for a while, and we'll see you guys back in the shop later this afternoon.